Okay, give me a minute. Okay, hold on, there we go. Hey guys, it's Sippingman223, and today I'm here to review The Lion King 1.5. So here's The Lion King 1.5, and yes, my hair is spiked because I went out earlier today. I had to wake up early and I went out, so I spiked it up and it's still spiked. So yeah, I'm here to review The Lion King 1.5, and what did I think of this movie? I thought this movie was awesome. It was funny for sure. It was funnier than the first one. Even though this movie is very different from the first one, if you like the first one, you're still gonna love this one. The whole movie's in the eyes of Timon and Pumbaa, because it starts off as a prequel and then it goes in at the same time as the first one, and you find out that Timon and Pumbaa were in like every scene, and it's so funny. You get introduced to Timon's family. It's just very good. This time the main villains are the three hyenas this time, and yeah, great movie. I don't know if everybody's seen it. Lots of people have seen this one. So if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it, for sure. I hope you've seen it. If you haven't, then rent it or something, or watch it online. It's kind of tough to find online, but I found it, so. Because, I didn't find it. I found it at first, but then it was getting all glitchy, so I decided to use this, but the DVD's very scratched, but it worked, so I watched it on my PS3, which I just hooked up, because, you know, I moved, so I had to rehook everything up, and I was too lazy to hook it up before, but I did now. So yeah, Lion King 1.5, great movie, really funny, worth seeing for sure, especially if you like Timon and Pumbaa. They're hilarious. Simba returns, Ala returns, I think that's her name. Yala, Ala. I don't know how the characters should say this time. Ala? No! I'm gonna call her Ala. I'm gonna call her Ala, I don't care, just whatever. So yeah, everybody returns, except for Scar. You see him, but you don't hear him, so the voice doesn't really return. But everyone else really returns. Well, not everyone. Like, the monkey has a big part in it, too, so yeah. So in the end, I would rate this movie 4 stars. So I rated 4 stars. It's an awesome movie. Definitely see this. Worth seeing for sure. Okay, so, that was my review of The Lion King 1.5, and now I'm gonna get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, please click out, because click out because you haven't seen it. And people who have, you can stay, you can leave, your choice, because I'm gonna talk about the plot. So here we go. So the movie starts off. It's in a movie, like it's in a theater, and Timon and Pumbaa are watching The Lion King, but Timon wants to go to the part where they're in, but Pumbaa doesn't. So they decide to go before the beginning and the parts that they're in. So they go before and they show Timon's life, how Timon, you know, he's a meerkat, of course, and he doesn't like his life, and you get introduced to his mother and his uncle Max. Yeah, and he doesn't like it, so eventually decides to leave, and he gets the monkey, the baboon, talks to him, and he says, look beyond what you see, but Timon takes it really seriously, and he starts walking, kept looking beyond what he sees, and that's when he bumps into Pumbaa. And the two of them become friends. Well, Timon says they're acquaintances at first, which is really funny. So they decide to go to Pride Rock, and that's where it shows the opening scene of the first Lion King, but it shows them walking, so you find out that that's where they were. Pretty funny. So they go to Pride Rock, but they find out that because all the animals are there to see the the baboon to hold up Simba. So they decide to go through the crowd, but Pumbaa ends up farting because he doesn't do well in crowds, so he farts, knocks out everyone around them, so then the other animals think that they're bowing down, so they bow down, and that's why everyone bowed down to Simba. In the first one, they bowed down because of the fart, because they thought they were bowing down, so that's really funny. I was like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. So then they decide to not go to Pride Rock, but there's this other place very close to Pride Rock. They go, and it's a great place. There's a pool. You know, it's a pretty decent place. They decide to live there. So they sleep there, and they have these 2 beds, one big bed for Pumbaa and another bed for Timon, which is small. But Timon goes in the big bed, and then Pumbaa goes in the little, which is really funny. And, yeah, eventually they get woken up by noise. And it turns out when Simba and Ala are singing, you know, and Simba's like, you know, I can't wait to be king, that song. When they're singing, yeah, Timon and Pumbaa were there, so they want to, you know, shut the animals up, so Timon hits one of the animals, and that's why all the animals fell over on each other in the first one. So that was like, I was like, I forgot about that. That was really funny in my opinion. So then they continue, and where do they go next? I can't remember where they go next. Oh yeah, they go to the elephant graveyard next, and it's obviously a bad place, but Timon's like, oh, I'm sure it can be good. But then, of course, they find Mufasa. He runs in, and they hide, and then he sees Mufasa fight all the hyenas, like from the first one, so then they leave. So after that, they go to Scar's place, where, you know, where Scar had the hyenas, and they decide to live there, but then and this is where Timon's starting to go crazy, because he can't find a place to live, and that's when he sees all the hyenas, because when they're dancing, or like doing that, like walking like this, they get scared and they leave. So then they go to the kind of pit place, I can't remember what it's called, and they're there, they want to, Timon's like, oh, nice and hot, we should live here and stuff, and that's when the big stampede comes. So then they run, they're in the stampede, and then they end up getting chased off, and they fall into a thing, in the water, a river, and they fall in the waterfall, and that's of course the same stampede that kills Mufasa and stuff, so you know, they're in every scene, which is really funny. And I keep thinking the camera's not on, it better be on. It is on, okay. Just checking. So yeah, so then they end up, they fall down the waterfall, and it takes them to this place that Pumbaa kept talking about. And it's just an amazing place, and that's the place from the first one that Simba and Pumbaa played, lived in. And of course they lived in, oh, and you find out that a baboon, he was the one that told, Timon about, no, it better be on the DVD thing. Oh my gosh, that scared me. I hope my peanuts are okay. Crap. A bag of peanuts. Okay. I gotta find it. Hold on. Come on! No, I don't want to restart this review. Hakuna Matata, there we go. It wasn't on there, I just remembered in my mind. Yeah, so you find out the baboon taught Timon about Hakuna Matata, and also Pumbaa knew about that, so then they live happily ever after. And that's when they find Simba, you know, with the eagles, and it gets to the first one, and it shows extra scenes with them and Simba, where Simba has to keep going to the bathroom, and it's really funny. And what's my time? Okay. They have to keep going to the bathroom, and eventually he grows up, they have the snail eating contest, and then they do the whole thing where Ya'ala comes in. And yeah, it eventually leads up to near the ending of the first one, where they go with Simba, because eventually Timon is angry that Simba leaves, and Pumbaa leaves, and Ala leaves, but eventually he goes too, to help Simba. And that's where his mother and Uncle Max come in, and they decide to help Simba. No, yeah, they decide to help everyone to get rid of the hyenas, and they get chased by the hyenas. And that's when Timon, they devise a plot where they get the hyenas, they dig underground and make it so the floor falls, and that's when the hyenas fall. And the hyenas are actually the main villains in this one. They're in this a lot, they're the villains, so that's really cool. The girl, like I said, she's really cool. The retarded guy's hilarious as always. The other guy I don't really care about. Oh, and the funniest thing is where Timon's trying to what is he doing? He's trying to stall, so he asks the girl to marry him. It was really funny. And they're all the hyenas like, what? And even Pumbaa's like, what? And it's really funny. Like, I was literally like, oh, LMFAO. It's quite funny. So yeah, and it ends, they look up when they defeat the hyenas, and you see Scar get defeated, and yeah, it's a happy ending, and it ends with Simba saying, you know, I couldn't do this without you guys, and it goes with the whole ending of the first one, and then it goes past the ending of the first one, where you find out that they all make a trip. All the meerkats go to that place where Timon and Pumbaa lived, and then Simba visits, and I'm guessing after they have to leave. And since I've seen the trailer for the second one, so I'm pretty sure Timon and Pumbaa leave too, to live with Simba in the Pride Lands. And yeah, and then it ends. and then it cuts back to Timon and Pumbaa in the theater. Well, there's a lot of funny scenes, by the way, with Timon and Pumbaa in the theater, doing little scenes in the middle of the movie. It's really funny. Like Timon picking his nose or crying, or them changing the channel by accident. It's really funny. So yeah, then that's when his mother comes in and she wants to watch the movie over again. Pumbaa watch the movie again. Simba comes, everybody starts coming to watch it all over again, and Timon's like, oh, I don't want to see it again. And then Mickey Mouse comes in. I'm like, and you're like, well, I remember this because the movie a long time ago. Mickey Mouse comes in, and then all the original Disney characters come in, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was counting out all the Disney characters and the shadows, nostalgic type, because they're covered with shadows because they're in the theater, so you're nostalgically picking out each one, and I picked out all of them, so it was really funny for sure that all the Disney characters came in. So this one definitely wasn't serious like the first one was. Well, the first one was funny too, but this one was really funny. Like I said, recommended, 4 stars, awesome movie, and yeah, that was my review of The Lion King 1.5. So yeah, this has been another Hippoman223 review, and subscribe to my second channel, which is my dad's MPB Boxers, which has my dad's boxers, Max, Patch, and Petra. Please subscribe to that channel. Subscribe to my friend's channel, which is Curly Fries, Shadow Flamus, and Funfair Productions. Subscribe to a channel which I have with all my friends, which is a Game Over production, and of course, subscribe to me, Hippoman223. So like I said, this is another Hippoman223 review. Goodbye.